This morning, we're remembering Emmett Till on the 65th anniversary of his killing. The 14-year-old black teenager was brutally murdered by two white men after he was accused of whistling at a white woman in Mississippi. Till's death stirred nationwide outrage and became a catalyst in the civil rights movement. A CBSN special airing tonight, The Power of August, shows us how Till's killing in 1955 and the death of George Floyd this year triggered movements for change. Let's go back to Vladimir Duthiers. Vlad, good morning again.
Anthony, as you noted, it's been decades since Emmett Till was killed. But the painful legacy of his death still seems fresh amid the civil unrest we've been seeing worldwide surrounding the murder of George Floyd. I want to warn some of you, the images you're about to see may be disturbing. Life for most black men and women in 1950s America was a daily struggle. Their lives were separate and unequal, and especially in the South, black people knew their lives were also at risk.
There was overt racism. It was open and notorious. And for a young man like Emmett Till to travel from Chicago to the Mississippi Delta, it was a world of difference.
That difference would be a matter of life and death for 14-year-old Emmett Till. In August 1955, his mother sent him to Mississippi to spend the summer with his relatives. His family loved young Emmett's jovial personality. But as his cousin, Wheeler Parker Jr., told 60 Minutes' Ed Bradley back in 2004, it wasn't something to flaunt in the segregated South.
He was a center of attraction. He loved pranks. He loved fun. He's kind of a natural-born leader.
Why would that be a problem?
In Mississippi, why would it be a problem? It would be a problem because the Mississippians, what he thought was just fun or a joke, wasn't funny to them.
Which is why no one laughed when young Emmett whistled at a white woman, a joke that would cost him his life. Emmett's late mother, Mamie Till, would describe what was left of her only child.
I was looking at his ears, and that's when I discovered a hole about here, and I could see daylight on the other side. I said, I want the world to see this. Because when people saw what had happened to this little 14-year-old boy, they knew then that not only were black men in danger, but black children as well.
There were 10,000 people who saw that body in Chicago. Many millions more who saw it because of the photograph in Jet magazine.
I can breathe.
In May 2020, tens of millions more saw the video of 46-year-old George Floyd take his last breath.
I think that snapshot of the officer kneeling on his neck, the cry that we heard from George Floyd for his mother,
Mama!
It really was incredibly powerful.
Today also marks the 57th anniversary of the March on Washington. That is, of course, where the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech in 1963. Tens of thousands are expected to gather at the Lincoln Memorial to commemorate the historic march.
Vlad, what did some of the civil rights leaders say to you about the protest and the activism that we're seeing in the streets today? I'll bet it brings back a lot of memories for them, too.
You're exactly right, Gail. In fact, both young and old, those leaders told us there's a direct lineage between what we saw in the 50s and 60s to what we're seeing today. The one difference is that we are seeing this movement worldwide. You're seeing people holding up Black Lives Matter signs in Denmark, in France, all over the world. That kind of allyship is really sort of unique to where we are in this moment at this time.
It's still jarring, though, to see the body, the picture of Emmett Till, and God bless his mother for sharing that picture. It definitely changed the game and made a huge impact. Thank you very much, Vlad.